We can define it as energy is the how we communicate in three different lanes. It's the words we say, it's how we say those words, and then it's all of our nonverbals. So our facial expressions, our hand gestures, our posture. If we're standing, if we're fidgeting with our toes, if we're pacing back and forth, or if we're playing with our jewelry, all of that sends messages of I'm not confident, I'm questioning myself. Versus in our voices, when we deliver information, it's through our tone, it's through our pace. I'm a fast talker for sure. It's whether or not we breathe or pause. It's if we use filler words, if we're loud or really meek and soft, if there's an inflection in our voice after every sentence where it's more of a question and we're doubting ourselves, or that timidness, like I said, in our volume. All of those things communicate energy. I like to talk about this as each of us has to define what I call our own speaking persona, where we get to determine how do we want to be seen by other people? How do we want to be experienced? What's the energy we want to bring? Because I think what's really important is when they hear us talk about energy, it's not about matching what you do, Mallory, or how I talk or using my weird clenchy butt cheeks and really crazy hand gestures. And I speak in a really specific way, right? I've trained myself over the years to speak in this way. And you have your own element of energy that you bring. But someone listening, they might not be as, I don't know, I was going to say witty and humorous. I don't know, like whatever it is, right? When you think about your personality, you have to define that for yourself around how do you want to come across? Do you want to come across polished, professional? Do you want to be genuine? Do you want to be friendly? Do you want to be funny? Do you want to be inspirational? Do you want to be serious? We have to think about how do we want other people to see us so that we're not trying to become a puppet or a parrot of someone else that we admire. We have to get better at asking the question. It's not just about having bigger energy and being louder with jazz hands. That's not the goal. Because if that's not authentic to you, it's actually going to become a repelling mechanism for the people listening to you. So what we have to think about is how do we want other people to experience us? And the way that I like to ask this question is say, when you are at your absolute best around your friends or your favorite business clients or people that you work with inside your nonprofit, when you're at your best, let's say, deliver an energizing presentation that has nothing to do with money, right? You're just talking when you're really comfortable. What are 3 words that people would use to describe you? What are those words when you're at your best? And then you have to ask yourself the question, how do I ensure that my tone and the warmth of my voice or the pace of my voice or my presence through my eye contact or my body language, being tall and confident versus hunched over and scared? How do these things all come together to portray that image that you just said was you at your best? Because I would argue that everybody has the ability to show up in what I call a more magnetic way, but we're unwilling to elevate our awareness for how we show up right now. So it's less about saying, what are all the tips and tricks, Heather, around what should I say, or how should I hold my hands, and we can geek out on all of those things. But what I always say is the starting point for people is to ask the question, how are you when you're at your best? And then you start asking, what does my voice sound when I'm confident? What does it sound like? What does it look like for me to be compassionate and genuine versus nervous and terrified? I think we're a lot smarter and we know what that sounds like, and then we could start practicing it.